the NUPENG strike. Yes, in Abuja, it's been on for a while, biting harder. And by the way, Doris Okenwa did go to town. She's been on that for some time now, getting updates concerning that development. And, well, yes, in Lagos also, they had a briefing, NUPENG, concerning their stance on this matter and how it affects us all. Let's start with this report, if we will. Okay, we'll come to that in a bit. But we're joined in the studio by Igwe Achese, who is the national president of NUPENG, National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers. Thank you for coming on this morning.
My pleasure.
Okay, then, is that report ready now? Let's see if we could just focus on it, but we will in a minute or two. But first and foremost, for those who don't understand what the bone of contention is, give us the benefit of that.
Well, yeah, that's true. A lot of issues or questions have been asked. Why is NUPENG on strike action in Abuja? To be honest, this last issue of strike action came up as a result of the last meeting. An MOU was signed with the Ministry of Labour. The Minister of Finance for State was in attendance, and various stakeholders. We had that meeting and we signed an understanding.
When was this meeting?
And that was on the 27th of July, where we declared a strike action and were asked to suspend the strike action. And then hopefully government is going to take care of the issues involved.
What were the issues at that time?
Vis-a-vis, we talked about the issues of the non-payments of the subsidy that is affecting Nigerians that are working in the downstream sector. We also talked about the bad roads, that the roads are very bad, and you are aware, we had a series of accidents on the street, on the roads by virtue of, tankers that are loaded and were off track because of the bad road. And then at the end of the day, we had loss of lives for Nigerians who are going to scoop these products. And we said, you must fix these roads. We've been talking about these road issues for over years. We talked about the refineries as well.
Sorry, let me talk about the roads before you move on, so that you don't lose your train of thought. Concerning the roads, are you talking about specific roads or a lot of Nigerian roads? Because if it were a lot of Nigerian roads, are you also saying then, by extension, that government has done absolutely nothing about the roads ever since you went to strike?
Of course. They've done nothing. Nothing. We've watched in the media, sometimes in channels or AIT, where the Minister of Works will be advertising the works he's doing, the good jobs or roads he's working on, the issues of being on the roads. And but again, if you go around across the country, for those of us who are haulagers, the tanker drivers that haulage these products to the nooks and crannies of this country, you realize that the roads are really bad. You can drive from Port Harcourt to Enugu. Port Harcourt Enugu is about 2 hours, 30 minutes drive, or 2 hours, 15 minutes drive. But today, you can make it for 5 hours. 5 hours, you're still on the road to make Enugu from Port Harcourt. And that is how bad that road is. And if you go through the east-west road, which, of course, in the last meeting, we're being told that NDC has taken over that project from the federal government, and the road is really bad, and it's been abandoned. You heard that the last accident that took place around the Ahoda West area, that we lost about 95 Nigerians, precious Nigerians, and you know what it means. A single life of a Nigerian worth millions, as long as...
If you allow me come in here, I'm quite sure you must have seen what's been going on in town, and everyone has been talking. Perhaps even this same headline on the front page of the Vanguard, NUPENG anti-Nigerians, and also the story of some marketers giving your executive, you're the chairman, president, well over 200 million naira to go on strike in order to scuttle this whole trial.
If you recall, when we took up the issues of fuel subsidy strike at the NLC level, you still face the same propagandas by government, knowing fully well that if Nigerians begin to know the realities and the truth of the facts of what is really happening, it will really hit back.
But what's the logic in if I have a boss who is enmeshed in corruption and I'm working for that particular boss and he's been on trial, being tried, and I say I'm down in tools in protest against the government for what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because from what we got, that is one version and it's still on tape. He says that you people are going on strike because some of these marketers, who are also their employers, are facing hard times, and that is what Nigerians are saying is not enough reason for you to call out your members.
One thing I want to let Nigerians to understand is in 2010, it was NUPENG that raised the alarm of the fraudulent activities in subsidy. And I recall vividly in November 2010, we raised that alarm and we said, PPPROA, there is a crisis in that place, and that government should move in immediately to investigate the fraudulent activities that is happening in PPPROA. And I'm happy. Few months after we raised that alarm in 2011, the House of Rep moved in. They swept into action and then came up with the revelation that millions or trillions of Nigerians are, is going under the drain. And as long as we're concerned as a union, we will not and will never compromise with fraudulent activities. We keep saying this. But again, one thing you see about Nigerians is when you come out as an, a group or as an individual and you begin to say, look, something is wrong somewhere, the next thing you see, you hear a counter, which is the beauty of democracy, of course. That's the beauty of democracy, because, of course, when you're reacting, there must be a counter-reaction.
What we're trying to trace initially was what you were telling us, the MOU that was signed on the 27th of July.
Fine.
And you were talking about the state of roads, the refineries,
the turnaround maintenance, and so on.
Exactly. And the fact that nothing has happened till now. I mean, it's barely a month. It's not yet the 27th of August, is it? And, we're already saying that, action should be taken.
Let me tell you, in the MOU, one thing you must understand in the issues of the downstream sector, we are not after the issues of marketers for now. All through we've been on this issue to advocate that, look, we need job protection.
No, but that's what some of the members of yours talked about.
Fine. That is the underlying issues.
Job protection.
Job protection.
Yeah. Okay.
Now ask me, what is the issue of job protection? And why is the union emphasizing on the issue of Nigerians must tell, guarantee the workers, those who are working in the downstream sector, more especially the private depots and the NNPC as an institution as well. Now, when you take the issue of subsidy, that government assumed to be fraudulent, beautiful, we don't want to go into that aspect of it. But the truth is, as I speak to you, Nigerians who work in these depots, that haulage products to the various parts of this country, have not been paid for 3 months. Some have not been paid for 4 months.
Before
I will ask this question.
The strike, or the initial threat of strike that, led to the MOU signing on the 27th of July. You didn't look at that aspect of people that had, because it's not yet a month since that MOU was signed.
Fine.
What it does mean is that some people were already being owed before that MOU was signed. Was that taken into consideration?
Of course it was. It was.
What was the promise there?
The promise, when we signed that MOU, we agreed that within 2 weeks, and it was signed by the Minister of State for Finance, who represented the minister that was out of the country, and he assured all parties. It was a long stretched meeting.
That what was going to happen?
That in 2 weeks, government will start commencing payment of subsidy. But
that's verified ones.
You understand
verified claims.
So as to create the job security of our members in the sector. That fine, we agree, there are issues, but of course, as government, we will not also allow Nigerians to lose their job, and for Nigerians not to also get their salaries. You know that within the period, we're also having a close time of the salary break period as well, the salary holidays, the Ramadan fast holiday period. I was like, look, these workers, these truckers, these loaders need to earn their salaries. And we agree that, look, the government is going to do something. Fine, beautiful.
Haven't they done anything? They haven't paid anybody?
Nobody has been paid. But again, you see, this is the issues of government. We have signed series of MOUs. In terms of, when you talk, if you go now, send your crew to the Port Harcourt Refinery Road. Send your crew to the the Warri Refinery Road. You'll be amazed of how those roads looks like. Yet, the tanker drivers still takes that risk to haul these products across those roads.